Your betta fish is sitting on the bottom of the tank. You walk over to the aquarium. It barely moves. You tap the glass. It slowly swims away. And then goes right back down. If you've ever seen this happen, you probably asked yourself one terrifying question. Is my betta fish dying? But here's something very important you need to know. A betta resting on the bottom doesn't automatically mean something is seriously wrong. Sometimes your fish is simply resting. Sometimes it's reacting to its environment. And sometimes, it's telling you that something needs your attention. The challenge is knowing the difference. In today's video, we're going to explore 8 possible reasons your betta fish may be staying at the bottom of the aquarium, how to tell normal resting from concerning behavior, and what you should check before making any sudden changes. So don't panic. Let's take a closer look at what your betta may be trying to tell you. Introduction. Betta fish are surprisingly expressive animals. They develop routines. They explore their surroundings. They recognize feeding time. Some even learn to recognize the person who feeds them. Because of this, changes in behavior can be extremely useful clues. One of the most common questions from betta owners is, why does my betta keep sitting at the bottom? There isn't one universal answer. A fish may rest near the bottom simply because it feels comfortable there. Another fish may spend more time near the bottom because something about the aquarium isn't ideal. That's why we shouldn't diagnose a problem based on one behavior alone. Instead, we need to look at the entire picture. How long has your betta been doing this? Is it still eating? Is it swimming normally when it does move? Is it breathing comfortably? Does it respond when you approach the aquarium? Has anything recently changed? Those questions can tell us much more than the behavior by itself. Reason number 1. Your betta may simply be resting. Let's start with the most harmless possibility. Your betta may simply be taking a break. Betta fish aren't constantly swimming. They need periods of rest throughout the day. In a natural environment, they may move between plants, leaves, and calm areas where they can rest. If your aquarium has plants or decorations near the bottom, your betta may choose one of those areas as a favorite resting spot. This is especially common after periods of activity. For example, your betta may spend several minutes exploring the tank, swimming around the surface, and interacting with its surroundings. Then it finds a comfortable leaf. And stops. That isn't necessarily a problem. The important question is what happens afterward. If your betta gets up normally, eats normally, and continues exploring throughout the day, occasional bottom resting is usually much less concerning than constant inactivity. Reason number 2. The water may be too cold. Temperature is one of the first things you should check when a tropical fish becomes unusually inactive. Bettas are warm water fish. Their metabolism is closely connected to water temperature. When the aquarium becomes too cool, your betta may become less active. You may notice slower swimming, longer resting periods, less interest in food, more time spent in one location. Some beginners interpret this as their fish becoming calm. But temperature can have a major influence on activity. That's why a reliable aquarium thermometer is such a useful tool. Don't rely on how the water feels to your hand. Human hands aren't precise enough to determine whether aquarium water is at an appropriate temperature. Use a thermometer. Check it regularly. And most importantly, focus on stability rather than constantly making large temperature changes. Reason number 3. Water quality problems. Another important possibility is poor water quality. This is one of the biggest reasons aquarium maintenance matters. Water can look completely clear and still contain substances that are harmful to fish. Ammonia and nitrite are especially important parameters to monitor in an aquarium. When water conditions are poor, fish may become stressed. That stress can show up as reduced activity. Your betta may spend more time resting. It may become less interested in its surroundings. It may behave differently during feeding. This is why visual inspection alone isn't enough. If your betta suddenly starts spending much more time on the bottom, consider testing the aquarium water rather than assuming the fish is simply tired. Regular testing can help you discover problems that aren't visible to the naked eye. Reason number 4. The filter current may be too strong. Here's something many beginners don't consider. Your betta might not be resting because it wants to. It may be resting because the water current is exhausting it. Bettas have relatively delicate fins, and strong water movement can make swimming difficult. Imagine trying to walk against a strong wind all day. Eventually, you'd look for somewhere sheltered. Your betta may do something similar. If the filter creates a strong current, your fish may spend more time in calmer areas. You may notice it hiding behind plants, decorations, or near the bottom where water movement is weaker. Watch how your betta swims. Does it struggle against the current? Does it get pushed around? Does it seem more comfortable in certain corners? If so, the flow may need to be reduced. Reason number 5. Your betta doesn't have enough resting areas. Bettas appreciate places where they can pause and relax. Plants, broadleaves, and aquarium decorations can create useful resting areas. Without these structures, your fish may have nowhere comfortable to stop. This doesn't mean you should fill the aquarium with decorations. Too many objects can reduce swimming space. Instead, create a balanced environment. Give your betta open areas for swimming and sheltered areas for resting. A well-designed aquarium provides both. You may even notice your betta developing favorite locations. One fish may love a broad plant leaf. Another may prefer a floating plant near the surface. Another might rest behind a piece of driftwood. Learning your individual fish's preferences can help you understand its behavior. Reason number 6. Stress. Stress can also cause unusual inactivity. Your betta may become quieter after a major change to the aquarium. Perhaps you moved the tank. Maybe you changed the entire layout. Maybe you introduced another fish. Perhaps the lighting suddenly became much brighter. Or maybe there is simply too much activity around the aquarium. Fish are sensitive to their environment. A tank placed in a very busy location may provide less peace than one positioned in a quieter area. This is another reason to avoid constantly changing the aquarium. Stability matters. When your fish knows what to expect, it may feel more secure. Reason number 7. Age. Another possibility is simply age. As betta fish get older, their activity levels can naturally change. An older betta may spend more time resting than a younger fish. It may swim more slowly. It may explore less. It may have longer periods of inactivity. That's why it's important to consider the fish's age and its normal behavior over time. A young betta that suddenly becomes inactive presents a different situation from an older betta that has gradually become less active over many months. Changes that happen slowly are often easier to understand when you have a record of your fish's behavior. Reason number 8. A health problem may be developing. Now we reach the possibility that every owner worries about. Sometimes staying at the bottom can be associated with a health problem. But remember, bottom sitting alone doesn't tell us exactly what is happening. Look for additional symptoms. Is your betta refusing food? Are its fins changing? Has its color become noticeably different? Is it breathing unusually fast? Is it struggling to maintain balance? Does it stop responding to its surroundings? Are multiple unusual symptoms appearing at the same time? The more warning signs you see together, the more seriously you should take the situation. Instead of focusing on one symptom, look at the whole fish.